Hey guys, welcome back. I'm doing a top four or top six or whatever. I usually don't do this type of videos. Like very rarely I do, but I thought like I would do this today because I've been wearing these four fragrances like a lot in the past 2-3 months, I would say. And it's winter here in Sydney, and three of these fragrances, like I would say, even all of these four fragrances, they smell like even better in the winter. So let's go. The first one is Terre Hermes Parfum. So this one, how can I say? So what they've done is, like, I'll tell you the whole story. I bought Terre Hermes EDT sometime in 2020, I believe, from the chemist here, and I really like it. I like the fragrance. It's a very addictive fragrance, but for some reason it's started hurting my nose. There's something in the EDT and most of the other flankers as well that that they hurt my nose. I don't know what it is, so I sold it off. But I like the smell of the fragrance so much. I wanted some version of it that wouldn't hurt my nose, and this is what I decided to buy, and I'm loving the fragrance, and it doesn't hurt my nose either. So if you're a fan of Terre Hermes, I'm not sure if any of you have the same kind of issue. There's something very strong in the other EDT flankers, right? That I even tried the All Intense Vetiver. Same thing happens after about 5 or 10 minutes. And these fragrances, like, they have really good CR as well. You keep smelling them for throughout the day. In my case, like the EDT, I could smell it like easily 9-10 hours after. And because of that, it's after about a half an hour or so, it starts to hurt my nose. But this doesn't hurt my nose at all. And it is a beautiful. I mean, I don't think I'll ever not have this fragrance in my collection. It is going to be like that one fragrance that I'll forever keep in my collection, because I don't get bored of it at all. And this one had what is the difference between this and the EDT? There's not much difference, except that there's something green in the Parfum flanker that the other fragrances, the EDT ones or the other flankers, they don't have. You have this orangey kind of smell and this vetiver freshness, the earthy vetiver freshness. On top of that, there's something green in a like a leafy green kind of a smell. I don't know what that is, because if I look at the note breakdown from Fragrantica, it says Flint, I believe, but if I look at the Terre Hermes website, they mentioned something. Wait a minute. Terre Hermes. Looking at the Parfum flanker. So even in the main accord, it's mentioned mossy. There's something green that I smell from this flanker that I don't smell in the EDT ones. Let me check the Terre Hermes website as well. I mean, sorry, not Terre Hermes website. It's Parfum. Parfum. Okay, it says grapefruit, cedar, and shiso. I don't know what a shiso is. So shiso is a Japanese name for a Southeast Asian herb known for its jagged leaves and refreshing flavor. So maybe that's what I'm smelling, because I don't see that, but I don't see that mentioned in the Fragrantica note breakdown. Uh, and I can clearly smell that greenness in the Parfum Franca, but I don't smell that in the EDT and the other versions. And it is so addictive. As I said, it actually smells like Terre de Hermes is a man of earth or something, right? That's what it means. So it smells like green, earthy, like that's exactly what the name suggests. It's exactly how smells like how like what the name suggests, and it is a beautiful fragrance. I'll never get bored of it. It'll yeah. So this is one of the 4 fragrances that I've been wearing a lot in the past 3 or 4 months. Yeah. So we'll move on to the next one. The next one is, I don't think anyone talks about this fragrance anymore. This one. So switch back to the camera. This one. It is Givenchy Gentleman, the original, 1970. Oh my goodness. What can I say? I bought this again from the chemist, and initially, if you see my unboxing video, what I've said, I hated the fragrance. I didn't like it at all. It smelled very camphorous, like naphthalene balls and that kind of stuff. But when I started wearing it in the winter, right, I fell in love with it. There's something. It is like a patchouli through and through. It's like I don't even smell anything else. It is like patchouli. There is something very what do you call it? Very something. How do I put this? There's something dark. And what's the right word that I'm looking for is maybe something ambery, like benzoin and whatnot. But for some reason I'm addicted to this fragrance, and it kind of reminds me of one of those niche amouage fragrances, because amouage fragrances, whenever I smell any amouage fragrance, it has this patchouli, and patchouli has now become like in my mind, patchouli has become one of these sophisticated notes for some reason. I don't know, because all of the amouage fragrances, they seem to have patchouli in different proportions, I believe, because whenever I smell an amouage fragrance, it's the patchouli that I can smell in most of the fragrances, and I believe my nose is like particularly sensitive to patchouli. I don't know why, because I can smell patchouli if a fragrance has patchouli, my nose goes blind to all other notes in that fragrance. You know what I mean? If a fragrance has patchouli, I will be able to smell only patchouli from that fragrance. I think that's just me. My nose has this kind of effect. Other notes, right, kind of disappear or become overshadowed by the patchouli. And initially, I would have said, like, if you had asked me maybe a year ago, I would have said, like, I hate it. But now that I've started wearing it in winter, I've started liking it a lot more. I'm not sure why, because it smells better when you're wearing it in the cold season. It smells much more. It smells very comforting. It smells, and I also get these kind of looks from people around me. I don't know how do I say this kind of whenever I wear this fragrance, right? People they when I walk past them, they like they turn around like, who's that? Like, not in a not, I'm not trying to say they are put off by it, or something like that. Like they are intrigued, and they're curious. That's what I've noticed so far. And I don't know, maybe it's my skin chemistry or whatever. I've started loving this a lot more. This is like one gem of a fragrance, and it projects a lot. And see how much I've used it. In the this all of this is just in the past 2 or 3 months, I would say. This is, if you are a patchouli lover and if you're not having this in your collection, what can I say? Just go get it. It's cheap. I got this from the chemist. Like, it's a very, very cheap fragrance. This is from the 1970s, I would say. This is like a patchouli lover's dream. Probably the best patchouli, the cheapest and the best patchouli that you can buy. Let me have a look of what the note breakdown is. All these things about patchouli, and like, if I don't even see patchouli in the note breakdown, I would be it's going to be funny, man. See, so this was released in 1974. Okay. Paul Lega is the perfumer. So many notes in this fragrance: honey, cinnamon, rose, tarragon, bergamot, lemon, patchouli, cedar, orris root, jasmine, patchouli, leather, civet, oak moss, vetiver, musk, amber, vanilla. Oh my god, these old fragrances, right, always have too many notes. So yeah, this is like a patchouli lover's dream. What do these reviews say? Yeah, so I don't know, if you like patchouli and if you don't have this in your collection, shame on you, man. Shame on you. Let's move on to the next fragrance. This one, Valentino Uomo Intense Iris. What can I say? So beautiful iris. And this fragrance, the iris from in this fragrance is slightly different from the iris that I smell in other fragrances. So I have Dior Homme Intense, and I have Givenchy Gentleman, the Privé, the latest one, and I've tried Dior Homme Parfum as well, and I have Valentino Uomo, the original. And what other Irish fragrances do I have? Yeah, I've been buying a lot of Irish fragrances recently, and I'm planning to buy this what do you call that, Narciso Rodriguez, the latest Parfum Flanca. That one has Irish note in it, I heard. So I'm planning to buy that. But this one, right? This one has something green in it. So the iris. So other fragrances, they would be like the powdery iris, and then they would have this chocolatey kind of, they would have Dior Homme Intense has this vetiver thing going on, and mostly it would be like iris and a little bit of chocolatey iris. This one has something green in it that kind of smells a bit mature. I get that green smell. I start getting the green smell after maybe 10 minutes into the breakdown. So after you start wearing the fragrance, initially you won't pick it up. Let me see what that green thing is. Valentino Uomo Intense, right? So this one has mandarin orange, clary sage, iris, tonka bean, vanilla, leather. I believe it could be the clary sage. So that clary sage, right, adds a nice mature twist to an otherwise what would I say, otherwise typical Irish fragrances, because this Dior Intense, everybody wants to have their own version of Dior Intense, right? So Valentino Uomo original has this kind of cocoa or whatnot. It also has a chocolatey. It goes in the same direction, and I don't even remember what other Irish fragrances. Yeah, I'm not able to recall what other Irish fragrances are there, but this one, of the ones that I've tried so far, it has a little bit of there's this green thing that makes it unique from the other Irish fragrances, is what I'm trying to say, and it lasts much longer than the other Irish fragrances that I have in my collection. Even the Dior Intense, I tested it many times, but it doesn't last half as long as this fragrance. This lasts a long time, and I even received a compliment when I was usually go dancing kizomba in the weekends. So when I was dancing with a girl gave me a compliment like, I smell nice. Yeah, so if you don't have this fragrance, give it a try. It's a good, beautiful Irish fragrance, especially if you are a bit older and you don't want to smell like this lipsticky or chocolatey kind of iris. You can go for this iris. It has a little bit of maturity compared to other iris fragrances, because of that clary stage or whatever. Okay, so now let's move on to the next fragrance. It's this one, Oud and Bergamot. I think it is it is my latest. It's the latest fragrance in my collection. I don't think I bought any other fragrance after I bought this. Yeah, I don't think I bought this one. It is a very how would I say, it's a mature bergamot fragrance. So you have this, it's a very I've not smelled any fragrance like this with bergamot, and it has this kind of mysterious what do you call that, it smells mature as well. There's a little bit of mystery, I can imagine like a reserved person, but a very well-to-do, maybe like a rich person, but he's a bit reserved. You know what I mean? There's something about this fragrance that doesn't smell like a typical bergamot fragrance, or there's many bergamot fragrances that smell like like summertime in Italy and that kind of vibe. This is not one of those. This let me think, be my fragrance of the day. It's I wear this to office a lot. It's a very inoffensive kind of a smell. It has I think the oud adds a little bit of tang to the bergamot, I would say, and it is unique. And it's very simple as well, if you understand what I mean. It's a very simple fragrance, very elegant. It's not a very complex fragrance. It's just, in fact, to my nose, it's like linear throughout the day. But it's not your usual citrus fragrance. There's something about it that stands out, and it smells beautiful in winter. I've not tried this in summer yet because I bought it just maybe a month ago. So I need to give it a try and see how it smells in summer. But so far I'm loving it, and it and it lasts long as well on my skin. At least I can smell it throughout the day. uh, yeah, and it's my only Jo Malone fragrance, and I think I am starting to like the kind of the style of perfumery. I tried smelling at two or three fragrances at the Jo Malone stall here in Myers, and I like, and I already like their fragrances. So maybe I'll buy more of one Mirror and Tonka is something that I need to try. Then there's one leather fragrance that they have, which is a beautiful fragrance. And if you guys been following my channel, you know how much I love leather fragrances. And yeah, I need to give it a try. So these are the four fragrances that I've been wearing a lot in the past 2 3 months. And let me know if you guys have any of these fragrances, tried any of these fragrances. What is your opinion? You like or you don't like? Let me know in the comments. See you. Bye bye.